Good morning, SKN. I'm Jamie Morris.
And I'm Cortenza Carty.
It's a lovely Tuesday, isn't it?
Tuesday. So choose what you will do today. How about that?
And every other day.
But no, it's Tuesday. So you're choosing today to have a good one or do something good for yourself, you know?
Okay, yeah. I can't wait to hear what's going to happen on Wednesday. That being said, we are happy to start the day with you. Thanks for tuning in to Good Morning SKN on this lovely Tuesday morning. Now time for the latest in local news. Nevis seniors treated to a movie outing at NEPAC. This from MMS SKN. The Senior Citizens Division in the Nevis Island Administration's Ministry of Social Services, in preparation for a break of seniors group meetings that coincides with the school's summer break, treated seniors on Nevis to a movie outing on Thursday, July 14th at the Nevis Performing Arts Center, NEPAC. Ms. Trudy Prentice, the coordinator of the Senior Citizens Division, said, quote, "It is our closeout meeting as we usually take a break in July when schools take the long summer break. The seniors also go on break and then come back out at the beginning of the school year or maybe a week before," end quote. According to Ms. Prentice, individual seniors recreational group meetings for the 5 parishes on Nevis only recently resumed in March of this year after a break that was occasioned by the COVID-19 restrictions from 2020.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
You gotta go outside and do a little thing, you know? Because I think sometimes keeping them inside discourages them a bit.
I suppose, yeah. So, hey, you know, it is what it is. They're going out there, they're having fun.
That's so sweet.
And they're getting their break too, just like the students do. So
yes.
That works.
We continue now, this by way of the Ministry of Health press release. As of Sunday, July 17, 2022, there are no reported, suspected, probable, or confirmed cases of monkeypox in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. 4 other CARICOM member states have been affected by the travel of infected individuals and their close contacts so far. However, the monkeypox outbreak has not affected St. Kitts and Nevis yet, and there are no plans for border closure. Monkeypox is a rare disease caused by infection with the monkeypox virus, which is a part of the same family of the viruses as smallpox. Monkeypox is rarely fatal. Monkeypox includes symptoms such as fever, chills, muscle aches, swollen lymph nodes, exhaustion, and a typical rash that looks like pimples or blisters inside the mouth, on face, and on other parts of the bodies like hands, feet, chest, genitals, or anus. The rash goes through distinct stages before healing completely. The illness typically lasts 2 to 4 weeks. Monkeypox, stay from whence you come. Don't come to these shores.
If it actually answers you, no, that would be something else entirely. But no border closures planned, obviously, because we're not infected yet. So we're not affected yet, rather.
Hopefully, we don't ever
become infected as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this from the Nevis Pages. James Weeks, the director of the Nevis Aquatic and Sailing Center, the NASC, recently received a check from Manoj Deswani, general manager of RAMS. The check is for funds raised by RAM Supermarket's Change for Charity scheme, which represents 10 charities across St. Kitts and Nevis. Shoppers in RAM stores are invited to contribute a few dollars more to their chosen charity at the checkout. The RAM's general manager, Deswani, said, quote, "It gives RAMS enormous pleasure to help such worthy causes. As the scheme gains publicity, we hope contributions will grow," end quote. James Weeks runs and trains the Bring It Nevis swim team in partnership with the Nevis Aquatic and Sailing Center. Swim coach James said, quote, "The center is incredibly grateful to RAMS for setting up this scheme. The generosity of the Nevis community and RAMS raising $1,000 for the NASC in just 3 months is amazing. The NASC guarantees every cent raised under the scheme will go to reducing the costs to local families participating in the center's swim and sail programs."
That's a lovely initiative.
Indeed. Change for charity, making a difference in the communities both on St. Kitts and Nevis.
So we do remind you, remember the cashiers aren't going to take it from your card. You have to tell them that you're going to give change for charity. We continue now with the weather. It's partly cloudy with a 20% or slight chance of showers, a high of 90 and a low of 77 degrees of Fahrenheit. Wow. Stay cool all day. Oh, it's not too bad as we go through the hour up to 12 o'clock. Lovely weather today. So there you have it for news on the local scene. We will be right back with regional and international news. Stay tuned.
Do you know that common baked goods such as bread and crackers are high in salt? Get salt smart.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We now continue with the latest in regional news. This from the Observer Media out of Antigua. The Citizenship by Investment Unit, the CIU in Antigua, is currently engaged with the European Union in an attempt to prevent the shutdown of the lucrative industry across the region. This effort follows complaints some months ago by members of the European Parliament, who stressed that Citizenship by Investment Program, the CIPS, are objectionable from an ethical, legal, and economic point of view and pose several serious security risks. Earlier this year, the EU threatened to remove visa-free access to its Shanghai area of countries with such schemes. The MEPs lamented the perceived lack of comprehensive vetting procedures and that the current system allows for successive applications in different member states, relying on checks carried out by non-state actors. They added too that the Golden Passport scheme undermines the essence of EU citizenship and should be phased out.
We were here before. We covered it. We knew it was coming under fire, and Antigua seemingly is,
trying to save it, but
honestly, I think the writing is going to be on the wall unless there was some sort of reform and there was some buy-in from the international community itself. I think that, the writing is on the wall. All right. That being said, we're moving on to international news. Heat wave wildfires spread across Europe. This from the BBC. Wildfires have broken out across Spain and southern Europe amid a severe heat wave. In western France, thousands have fled their homes as firefighters tackle spreading blazes. In Spain, at least 20 fires are burning out of control. Meanwhile, thousands of hectares of land have also been burned in Greece and Portugal in recent days. a convoy of journalists were escorted into the woodlands in the direction of the coast, where campsites were abandoned by holidaymakers days ago. And at first, it is reported that they could see clouds of smoke hanging in the woods, but it all seemed relatively under control. And however, the further in they went, the worse it became. And as you can see from that visual, clearly wildfires are spreading out of control there. So thoughts and prayers to the people in that region.
Yes.
And of course, the firefighters themselves, who are frontline workers in this case. All right, there you have it for the latest. We will be back in a moment with more Good Morning SKN. Stay tuned.
Most people consume excess salt from processed foods, such as snack foods, processed meats, instant meals, and condiments.
Instead, use fresh vegetables, ground provision, fresh meats, and natural herb seasonings, just like our grandparents did, and just like you did with this soup. We are Salt Smart.
As a hypertensive patient, in my home, I reduce salt intake by not adding salt during the preparation of my food, not having a salt shaker on my table, limiting the consumption of salty snacks, and choosing products with low sodium content. That's why I am Salt Smart.
Has anyone ever touched you here, here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization.
Everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart, and always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water, or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission.
If you have a fever, cough, or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately. Rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. If you are just joining us, you are in for a treat. So history tends to be one of the least preferred subjects in school. Not for me. Regardless of this, it's important for us to remember the important events of the past and that have led us to where we are now. With that being said, it's time for another segment of This Day in History, where we take a trip back in time. Oh, I like the background. It's lovely.
Indeed.
It says Discovery. So we will be discovering today, this day in history. So in 1848, U.S. women's suffrage movement began. On this day, the women's suffrage movement in the United States was launched with the opening of the Seneca Falls Convention, which sought to gain certain rights and privileges for women, notably the right to vote. Why was women not allowed to vote? Why do you think?
What do I think? It was a patriarchal society, obviously. Tradition dictated that the women would stay at home and the men would go out to work, and so the men were the ones who had, let's say, the resources under their control, and effectively, that's just the way it was. It was a cultural thing, and it persisted, and it persisted. Obviously, we saw the shift, which was a very good thing, because we're talking about equality of genders, specifically, and if you are going to see that equality through to fruition in every sphere of life, then it makes sense that women should vote.
I don't grasp the fact that they think that our vote didn't matter or our voices didn't matter. I don't understand why it was that way.
I cannot help you, Corey, other than to tell you it was a cultural thing. And unfortunately, a lot of times what we see is when there is a belief that has cultural undertones to it, it takes a very long time for those beliefs to be changed because they're entrenched in what we do. And systematically, that's how we grow up. It's tradition. And nobody thinks that it's an anomaly either. So that's the way it is. All right, so in 1553, Mary I replaced Lady Jane Grey as the Queen of England, also known as Bloody Mary, due to her brutal persecution of Protestants. Ooh. Mary I was the only child of Catherine of Aragon and Henry III.
Wow.
Bloody Mary.
So she was the inspiration for the drink?
Well, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
That drink and then the English lingo. Yes. So she was the inspiration behind both of them.
Well, in that second portrait, it's kind of hard to imagine.
She's very stoic, though.
Smiling, yeah.
Yeah, in the first one, she looked like, don't play with me, I'll get you.
Aha! Well, perhaps that's why she got the name. All right.
I can't even say it because I just think it's going to come out the way it's supposed to. 1903, the first Tour de France comes to an end. Maurice Garin became the first person to win the debut of the now annual bike race. Oh, listen, I love the fact that I can be in my, I should call it my exercise room because it's a bedroom that has in my bike, and I can be in France. And I can be anywhere in the world, Jamie, on a bike that doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Unlike Maurice's bike, which actually went someplace. You crossed the finish line first. Yeah, I do.
Listen, I do cross the finish line with record times on my non-moving bike. Mm-hmm.
That's good to know, Cortez. So in 1900, the Paris Metro opened, one of the densest metros in the world and the second largest metro in Europe. The first line of the Paris Metro opened during the World's Fair.
Nice. That was probably a big thing back then. Look at that.
Of course.
Look at the ladies looking chic. Is their bags and their coats and their shoes all looking alike for me, right?
1900, that's a long time ago. It's hard to think because trains are part of our, when you're in metropolises anyway, they're part of transit. Mundane, it seems to be going on a train, so.
I wonder if when, I think a lot, right? Because I'm a thinker, my mind just wanders. When we sit on these things, do we oftentimes wonder, like, the person that created it, how did they think? What was in their mind? Why did they think that laying some tracks down and putting something on wheels is going to work? What? Even like the airplane, I wonder, what were those guys thinking?
Technology. You're improving the way of life as you know it, so you're solving a problem. And sometimes it's interesting because as you say that, when we think of inventors and inventions, they're solving problems that other people don't consider to be problems.
Until... Yes,
their
until
inventions
it's
have utility, so that makes a lot of sense.
So in 1870, Franco-Prussian War starts. The Franco-Prussian War starts. The war involving France under Napoleon and the King of, I wonder if that's Russia, Prussia, began with French declaration of war. The war lasted for 9 months and ended with a German victory. So the war lasted as long as almost in pregnancy. Look at that.
I don't know what to say
Yes,
to that.
because technically, right, Jamie, a pregnancy is not 9 months, it's 10 months.
That's what I heard.
Because of the week count. So, as I said, 9 months, a few weeks short of a... Wow.
Napoleon.
Look at that. So the...
Yeah, indeed. Napoleon is a figure that we know. I mean,
of course.
Honestly. And we're thinking about war. This was 1870. We've got wars raging now, even. So it just tells you everything is cyclical.
And the war now doesn't seem to end, because this morning on the news I heard that Iran's going to give him more planes to fight. What's wrong with them?
Nothing surprises me anymore.
And the little 4-year-old that they murdered. Putin needs to go to jail.
Nothing surprises me, and that's sad, but nothing surprises me anymore, Cortensia. As I said before, when it comes to things like these, what informs war a lot of times, economic considerations, acquisition of land, suppression, there are a myriad of issues that seem to work together.
But you're going to get land that you have to basically clean up, you have to move the shells, you have to do all these things to ensure that the soil is good. And then sometimes the soil is not that good because the metal has already seeped in the soil. So what's the point of messing up something to acquire it and it's no good?
You'll have to ask the people who committed genocide in history as well. It's just,
don't get it.
You can say it's ideological in a lot of respects, but it's also just a sheer exercise of power. It's what, the more powerful among us want to achieve, and they do it by force. And that's just the way it is. It's why international organizations work the way they do to ensure that they keep the peace. But realistically, there's only so much that they can do, because ultimately the countries are sovereign themselves, and they decide what to do.
We're just not going to do it.
With Iran in this case.
That's so sad. But somebody else would ally themselves with someone that's already murdering innocent people.
You see,
the good always die young.
It's interesting, but again, I know that we're talking about today in history, but it's real to us because we can appreciate the war that's going on now, even though the war that we were talking about began in 1870. And as I said, there are a myriad of issues that inform decisions to go to war. There is the suppression of free media in certain territories, Russia, for instance, where a lot of Russians really don't know what's going on in the Ukraine because the media is suppressed, right? And oppressed. And so realistically, forget free press, forget information that encourages people to make informed decisions and to hold governments accountable, because there's no such thing in certain parts of the world, and that's just what we're seeing right now.
That's a jail for life and punishment. And when I used to watch this show with Locked Up Abroad and stuff, and I see what you have to do, when you go, the only time you get to lie in your bed is when it's sleep time in Russia. Other than that, you have to pace back and forth in your cell, and especially if you committed a heinous crime like murder, you pace back and forth in a cell that, I swear, the cell is shoved all the way back because they have to go through like 3 different doors to get to you. That's like real punishment. I would never want to do anything in Russia to go jail, much less to go to Russia. I'll just fly over and look at that little pretty color ice cream looking building and just leave. I don't want to land.
You don't want to land?
No.
Pretty ice.
No. Yeah, it looks like a pretty little ice cream bowl. You know the building I mean, right?
I know what
I think is it the parliamentary building?
I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
No.
But they'll be delighted to know that, given all the snow that they have as well, you called it the pretty little ice cream building. Pretty sure they'll be glad to know that. All right, well, there you have it for today in history. We will be back to continue our day with you on Good Morning SKN in a few moments. Stay tuned.
The continued fight against COVID-19 requires the continued practice of public health measures across all sectors and in every community. Frequent and proper hand washing, wearing face masks, and physical distancing. Do you know who is not physical distancing? The Aedes aegypti mosquito. Let's avoid overloading our healthcare systems. This means simultaneously protecting yourselves and your loved ones from all disease, including mosquito-borne illness like dengue fever, Zika, and chikungunya viruses. Did you know that dengue is the most common mosquito-borne viral disease in the world? So let's get to work. Use window and door screens to keep mosquitoes out. Change the water in vases and scrub inside surfaces to remove mosquito eggs. Avoid using saucers with potted plants to prevent collection of water. Securely cover water barrels and drums with mosquito netting and properly fitted covers. Scrub the inside walls of water barrels and drums with detergent 1 to 2 times per week. Walk around the outside of your home and remove or overturn containers that can collect water and become breeding sites. Mosquitoes only need a small amount of water to lay their eggs. Remove unwanted cans, bottles, buckets, or used tires. Other items still in use must be properly stored in covered areas to avoid water settling in them. Clean roof gutters and air conditioner trays. Debushing and removing tall grass from around your home or establishment is also key to reducing mosquito populations. To decrease your risk of being bitten by infected mosquitoes, use proven personal protective methods too. Apply an effective mosquito repellent to exposed areas of skin according to manufacturer's instructions. Wear light-colored long pants and shirts while outdoors in the early morning and late afternoons. Further, protect vulnerable family members like pregnant women, children, the elderly, and persons who are unwell by using mosquito nets to sleep or rest, even during the day. Fight the bite and protect yourself and your family too from mosquito-borne diseases. This message is brought to you by the Pan American Health Organization, Office for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean countries.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Do you know that common baked goods such as bread and crackers are high in salt? Get salt smart.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I coming Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might broke up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
I need some veggies for dinner. Let me just check the amount of sodium in this can. Oh no, this is too much. Let me try our next option. They did say it's healthy to consume less salt. This is much better. I am salt smart.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Let's face it, most parents or guardians don't want to think about their teens having sex, let alone contemplate the possibility that they might get pregnant or get someone pregnant. Teenage pregnancy is a situation that involves female adolescents. A teenage female can be pregnant as early as age 12 or 13, although it is usually 14 and older. The fact that teenagers become pregnant is related to many factors. Here are some tips to decrease teen pregnancy. Teach teenagers comprehensive sex education. Target messages at teen boys, not just girls. Get the whole community involved. Encourage mentoring. parental involvement, and support. This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Where are you going? I just mopped the floor and now the chair leaving marks all over the place. Come on, go in bed, see? Sometimes I just can't take you on.
Violence is expressed in many ways. Most, unfortunately, go unreported or unaddressed for many reasons. If you or someone disabled is being abused, contact the police at 465-2241, social services at 467-1314, or the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Disabled Persons at 465-2151, 663-9077, or 663-4116. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO.
You can lower your salt intake by reducing salty foods, removing table salt, and using salt alternatives when cooking.
Salt is an important part of the human diet, but most of us consume more than we realize.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. It's the Caribbean's greatest summer line. And those of you who are familiar with that would know exactly what I'm talking about, because I'm talking about Culturama, the cultural festival that takes place on our sister isle of Nevis. So several preliminary events have already taken place, such as the recently held Senior Kaiso semifinals that resulted in 8 semifinalists who will be moving on to the finals. So today we are going to look at the junior component of Kaiso as we speak to Keith Glasgow, who is the coordinator of the Junior Kaiso competition. The show takes place alongside the official opening of Culturama on Thursday, July 21st. So let's begin with Kaiso, Kaiso, Kaiso. 3 times for you here on Good Morning SKN. Welcome to Good Morning SKN, Mr. Glasgow. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome. Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you and good morning to the viewing and listening public.
Awesome. So we're getting the conversation started this way. First of all, Kaiso and Calypso. We're talking about the Kaiso show and the Calypso show. Is there a difference between Kaiso and Calypso? And if so, what is it?
Well, what I can tell you is that here on Nevis, for Culturama, we use both Calypso with the C and Kaiso with the K interchangeably. We use them basically to mean the same thing. Okay. So we're not looking at any differences here. We use both words interchangeably. For example, I think earlier we used to use calypso, and then over the last number of years we started to use kaiso. So we have the senior kaiso contest, and of course I am the chairperson for the junior kaiso contest. But for our purposes, we use both terms interchangeably.
All right, I won't tell you which one is my favorite. One just sounds a little sweeter, but that's fair enough. Thank you for that answer. Definitely do.
So, what about soca, Mr. Glasgow? Is this a completely different category?
Soca?
Yes.
Well, soca, we have that as separate, but we also view soca as basically a form of calypso or kaiso.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this means this competition is going to be
I think long time
really interesting.
ago, soca used to be promoted as the soul of calypso, whatever that means.
Okay.
I was hoping you would tell us. I love that you're giving us a little bit of history, though, Mr. Glasgow, the soul of calypso. Great. So how many competitors are taking part in the Junior Kaiso show, and how many songs have to be presented by each competitor?
Okay. Currently, we have a total of 14 junior Kaisonians who are preparing for the show 2 days from now. They are all still in the band house, and well, I was supposed to receive from the band leader, Jazzy Connor, the finalists, because usually there is a band house elimination. But I did indicate to him that once all of the junior Calypsonians are ready with their melodies and their lyrics, well, we may not have to eliminate any one of them. And so right now we're looking, okay, we had a registration of 15, including the reigning junior Kaiso monarch. However, just yesterday we were informed by his mom that he will not be defending his crown this year. So currently, we have 14 who are preparing, and I suppose by later today, we will know if all 14 will be competing or it will go down to 13 or 12, as the case might be.
Oh, okay.
And of course, in terms of the songs, it's just one round. Each competitor will be singing only one Kaiso, or just one song.
Okay. So, Mr. Glasgow, what are the age ranges?
Well, we have currently from 10, 12, 10, up all the way up to 17.
Okay. And is 17 the cutoff age?
Yes, so once you turn 18, you have to go to the senior contest.
Okay.
That to me shows a lot of promise that you have so many competitors in that age range competing this year. So that says that that tradition would live on. What I want to know now is whether the winner of the junior competition will have the option of performing with the adults.
Well, we always have that option. In fact, I think it was in 2019. The junior Calypsonians did perform at a 10, for the senior Calypsonians. We had a couple junior Calypsonians on that 10. And it is a custom for us to use the junior Kaiso monarch as a guest artist on the final for the senior Kaiso contest.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for explaining that. We will take a brief break, but we'll be back to talk with you on the other side of it. More Good Morning SKN in a moment, everyone. Stay tuned.
Self-health management refers to the measures people take to manage their own health. You and I should remember to wash hands often with soap and water, or use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid touching your eyes, mouth, and nose. Take your temperature morning and evening. Watch for symptoms. Persons with diabetes, or hypertension are reminded to take your medication regularly as prescribed. If you have no symptoms, you may carry out your normal routine and boost your immune system. When you are outside, avoid public spaces and wear a mask at all times. If you develop symptoms, put on a mask and seek medical care. Do not take public transportation. Inform the doctor of your travel history, any contact with confirmed or suspected cases, your occupation, and whether anyone around you has similar symptoms. If you become ill, please rest at home. Wear a mask and isolate yourself from others in your household. If you share a bathroom, disinfect daily using 1 part bleach to 10 parts water. Everyone must work together to reduce the spread of the coronavirus.
Children, how can you tell a tsunami coming?
Teacher me.
Sammy?
My mother said when uncle jump in the pool and the water spoosh out, that's how you tell a tsunami coming.
Settle down, children, settle down. Do you remember our tsunami song?
Yes!
Mommy, Uncle not here and the other shake.
Hush your mouth.
Daddy, Uncle not here and the sea gone.
Who cares? You don't see all them free fish? Quick, give me the bag.
This is how you tell a tsunami a come. Teacher says so. I would have failed in school, you know.
Sammy, come, let me go. They would have failed anyhow. Let me run, see Sammy.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
Consuming excess salt can lead to heart attack, high blood pressure, and even stroke, and other health-related conditions such as kidney disease.
back to Good Morning SKN. We continue our discussion with Keith Glasgow, the coordinator of the Culturama Junior Kaiso competition. So, Mr. Glasgow, let's continue. What categories do the judges look at in this Kaiso competition?
Okay, there are three major categories. Lyrics, which is 40 points, music, 30 points, and performance, another 30 points. And that gives you a round figure of 100 points. However, those three major categories also have subdivisions, just to assist the judges in their judging duties.
I'm sorry, sir. Could you repeat that? There were subdivisions you said?
Basically, what I will tell you is we use the same criteria and score sheets for both junior and the senior Kaiso contests.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. All right. So, is there any difference with how the adults are judged compared to the juniors? Well, you said you use the same one, so you just answered that question. You preempted my question.
Yes, okay. The criteria and score sheet test.
All right. Is there a reason for that?
Well, we are basically preparing the senior to move on. The juniors to move on. And so that is why we use the same criteria and score sheet. So from, a very early time, they would be familiar with what they have to do in order to transition to the senior stage.
All right, thank you, sir. So let's talk about... Yes, go ahead, please.
Kaiso, it's Kaiso, so why not?
All right, so is there an application process now the participants entered by schools, or can they just express their interest to you or other members of the committee and participate?
No, the Nevis Island administration has a Culturama secretariat that functions throughout the year, like any other government department. And so usually when it is approaching Culturama, we do put out advertisements for persons to register for the contest. So there is usually an opening registration period and a closing registration period. So you have to apply. And so the Calypsonians or Kaisonians that I would have indicated, the 14 now, all of those would have been registered with the Culturama Secretariat.
All right, in terms of familiarity from the public, of the public with the Calypsonians, do you have any names of the participants that you've confirmed so far for us?
Well, yes. Okay, we have the names here. As I did indicate to you, the reigning monarch, whose official name is Teron Webb, and the Kaiso name, our sobriquet is Invincible. He will not be defending this year. So the others that I have here are Quincy Isaac, the mighty QJ, Mickey Washington, little legend, Marquez Washington, the mighty J, Dequan Hendrickson, goes by Dequan, and then we have Enije Jones, Prodigy D, and then Anthony H. Movin, the Herald, Rajon Fifield, Erastus, Alija Hendrickson, Princess Callie, and then Shante Hendrickson, Princess Niva, Jazel Connor, Junior Jazz, Lakeisha Clark, Princess Keisha, Anila Fife, Princess Kayla. Then we have Na Alia Smithon, Princess Ali. And then finally, we have Divonic Library, the mighty Divi. So those are the 14 junior Kayistonians that we have registered this year. And as I would have indicated, the reigning Kaiso Junior Kaiso monarch is not defended. That's the king invincible.
All right, so it's anybody's competition. The competition is open.
This would have been his last year. He's currently 17. By the time Culturama 49 comes around next year, he would have turned 18. So if he's to continue, and we wish that he will continue, he will go to the senior division.
Oh, well, that's definitely something to watch, sir.
So, Mr. Glasgow, what is the date, time, and venue of the Kaiso show?
Okay. The official start of Culturama will be on 2 days from now, Thursday at 7 p.m. at the Cultural Village. You know, here in Nevis, Charlestown, we have 2 cultural venues next to each other. When you leave the ETW Park or the E.T. Willett Park, you have the Cultural Village, and then next to the Cultural Village, we have the Cultural Complex. The opening ceremony for Culturama 48 or Culturama 2022 will be at the Cultural Village. It begins, as I would have indicated, at 7. And as part of that opening event, the final segment of that opening event will be the Junior Kaiso contest. And it's a free for all. There's no entrance or admittance fee.
All right, so you just go out and you enjoy yourself free. That's great, sir. Well, we know that you're a very busy man, but we want to thank you for taking the time to speak with us today.
Yes, just before we leave, I just want to encourage the public to come out on Thursday, the 24th of July, to support the opening of Culturama and our junior Kaisonians. Thank you very much.
Hi, if you are a smoker, please pay attention to this message. According to the World Health Organization, there are 1.3 billion smokers in the world today, and tobacco kills 1 out of every 2 smokers. Did you know that there is enough nicotine in 5 cigarettes to kill an average adult if ingested whole? There are more than 7,000 chemicals in tobacco smoke, of which more than 250 are known to be harmful. More than 69 are known to cause cancer, and 16 are classified as Group 1 carcinogens. Smoking kills. Are you ignoring that warning every time you smoke? Please stop. Smoking can lead to severe health complications and even death. It affects almost every organ in the body, especially the lungs and heart. It raises blood pressure, increases blood clots, and increases the risk of stroke, heart attack, and cancer. It is hard to quit smoking, but it is not impossible. Don't let tobacco destroy you. Remember the 4 Ds to curb your tobacco cravings. 1. Delay. Set a time limit before you decide to smoke. 2. Drink water. Go get a drink before you do anything else. 3. Do something else. Have a goodie bag handy of other things to do. And 4. Deep breathing. Take at least 10 deep breaths every time you think about smoking. Quit smoking and live a longer, and happier life. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, St. Kitts and Nevis.
I wear a mask because I want to protect my child, but also I want to protect his classmates and his teachers.
I wear a mask because I care about the frontline workers who will have to work even harder if those around me get sick.
I wear a mask to protect my family. I wear a mask to protect you. I wear a mask because it is the right thing to do.
I wear a mask because I don't want to put any vulnerable individuals at risk, like my elderly loved ones.
I wear a mask because
we are all in this together.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
As a hypertensive patient, in my home, I reduce salt intake by not adding salt during the preparation of my food, not having a salt shaker on my table, limiting the consumption of salty snacks, and choosing products with low sodium content. That's why I am salt smart.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Hey, my friend, what going on?
Not a thing. I just here cooling under this tree, about to eat a mango or two.
Where you get mango from all now?
Boy, Auntie Rose bring me some mango this morning.
Oh, gosh. What you hit me for?
You give me something to put on?
Girl, you can't just come tempting me with these juicy round pally mangoes and expect me not to want some.
Just because something looks appealing and you want it doesn't mean you are entitled to it and that you should touch or take it. Your mother ain't teach you manners. Ask for consent first before you touch up the mango them.
But why ask? And if it's dear, it's dear. Just take it. Why ask?
Simple. If it is mine and you ain't asked for it, it is called, wait for it, stealing.
That's true. My bad. Okay. May I please have some mangoes?
I don't know. After that spectacle, I ain't sure I want to give you any.
You see that? But I ask.
Just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give. It is still my mangoes.
So what you tell me ask for then?
Because consent is everything. Had you asked first, I would have been more inclined to give you one. And just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give you. You got it?
Okay, I got it. Now, may I please have some mangoes?
Only because you're my friend and I like you. But that still don't mean you're entitled to it.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
Good. Don't leave your mango skin on the ground, eh?
If you understand the importance of asking for someone's consent for a mango, then it shouldn't be too hard to understand consent when it comes to sex. The power of consent is everything. Ask first. If you or a friend has been sexually assaulted, please call 465-5000 for the Counseling Center.
This message was brought to you by No Judgment SKN and sponsored by the Basic Needs Trust Fund, the Department of Gender Affairs, and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning, SKN. Ciao, bango!
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We do apologize for that break. The technology gods, you know, it's not every day that they work smoothly with us, and today is one of those days. But we are grateful that you are here with us and that you will be actively listening as we participate in our Loosen Up segment this morning. So today we will be speaking all about listening and how it helps improve overall communication, builds a better understanding with our relationships. So are you a good listener, Jamie?
I'm sorry, did you say something?
You're not a good listener. Is this what you're trying to say?
I try to be.
You try to be, okay. So have you heard the term active listening before?
I have to hear the term active listening before. Part of my training has been to get others to actively engage with what I present.
Okay, good stuff, good stuff.
Definitely. You?
Of course, although sometimes I actively tune out.
That's a conversation for another day.
So at its core, active listening means being attentive, and that's what we learned from school. That's what our English teacher or history teacher, so everybody was like, be attentive, listen to me, pay attention this way, you know? So the teachers are always trying to get us to actively listen to what they are presenting so that we will have this information stored in our brains. So active listening is the practice of preparing to listen, observing verbal and non-verbal cues, and then providing appropriate feedback. It is making a conscious effort to hear, understand, and retain information that's being relayed to you, as I said before.
Active listening sounds like a really daunting task.
It could be sometimes for somebody that is not a good listener, or for somebody that you cannot keep their attention for more than a few seconds or so. So it could be a daunting task for them.
Yeah, it's also about the presentation as well, because sometimes we can simplify things, but we don't simplify things. I've listened to certain people who speak, and they speak with such quote unquote grandiloquence, you know, big words here, there, every other word, and it's like, what did you say?
Exactly. You lost me at big word.
You might be trying to impress me, but I am not actively listening to you.
Yep.
I'm actually rather unimpressed, but it is what it is.
I guess that's why you see in Sunday schools, the teacher goes on to a certain level when she's dealing with the little kids in preschools, etc., because we have to find ways to get the kids to actively listen.
That's it. Who is your audience? That's one of the most important parts.
Exactly.
Active listening. Now we're talking about the listening part. So really, on the listening end, we're not talking about the delivery part, which is what you and I were talking about.
Yeah.
But if you are to listen to somebody, you have to, I guess, push through the noise, the proverbial noise, right? So here are some tips on how we can all improve our listening skills.
Yes.
Empathize. And that's a very big word, you know. That's a very big thing to do. Empathy. Okay, so I was actively watching. I'm going to continue actively waiting.
The technology gods are trying it this morning.
While we talk about active listening.
I know. It's not listening to us, is it?
I don't know what's going on.
Come on, technology gods, work with us. You have to be active.
All right. Am I supposed to say this? Can we get the empathy thing?
It's not been empathetic.
All right, let's go. Let's talk. We're talking about active listening. Wow. Okay, Cortensia, you take this one, please.
Ooh, so we're going to maintain eye contact. So provide the speaker with your undivided attention. This is a nonverbal cue that you are interested in what they're saying. And we do that a lot. Yeah. But sometimes people cannot actively look at the person you're speaking to because they're shy. So then we have to learn to deal with things like that. Because we cannot say, oh, you're not listening to me because you're not looking at me. Like, no, I can't say Jamie not hearing me because he's hearing me. He doesn't necessarily have to be looking at me.
Right. That's also true as well. But you would assume that if you are actively listening to somebody, then you're paying attention to what they say. Not just what they say, because I say this all the time. I say I hear with my ears. I don't hear with my eyes.
Yeah, but I always learned that when you look somebody then when you're speaking to them, it proves that you're interested in what they have to say. Although sometimes we can still, they think, yeah, whatever, tune out.
Here's what I know, right? Because I've been through interviews with people, and I tried this step out. I actually got the job. Didn't last very long. I didn't stay there very long. Let me say that, but I was hired, 2 interview processes. And I said, you know what, let me try this out. Anybody who's talking to me that meeting, I'm going to maintain eye contact. Literally maintain eye contact for the whole thing. I was like, you know, not this spooky kind of, you know, because some people do that and they don't glance or anything. And I thought, wow, these people really thought that I was listening to them. They thought I'd be a great fit. This really works. I'm maintaining eye contact. I got the job. This is great. I was like, yeah. I stayed there all but 2 weeks. But anyway,
I feel spoofed by you. Because myself and the executive program manager was just having a conversation and you made us feel like we were the 2 bad ones. And you
No, I'm just saying, it shows that sometimes you might think people are actively listening, but when you give them these cues, they actually just know how to apply them, but they're not hearing anything you say. That's just me. I'm just saying, I heard it though, I really did, but I'm saying, yeah, it's not foolproof. But since you think when somebody looks at you, it means that they hear what you have to say, hey, by all means, go.
No, but I'm just saying what the theory says. And I did confess to being, I can't be looking at you, but I'm literally tuned out.
Yeah, you said it.
Now he puts it back on me.
Hard to visualize. Try to conjure up mental images of what the speaker is talking about, although I have to tell you that this is really funny because sometimes people are talking to me and the images that I get when they're talking, I don't know how to maintain a straight face. It comes with practice. In any event, let's go again. We're going to go to visualize. So you're literally trying to conjure up images of what the speaker is talking about while you were listening to help retain information. Maybe that's why I remember what people say. So this will help you to remember keywords and phrases when you listen for long periods. And my mind is somewhat comedic, so you can tell me.
I was just going to say, I think I was SpongeBob.
Okay, there you go. Exactly. It is what it is. Yeah, that's why I remember certain things. Don't ask. Thankfully, there are no mental x-rays.
Yeah, I know. If each, boy, we would have been in problems if people could have seen in our minds. Viewers, what do you think of that? Imagine you're thinking something and your boss just puts up the x-ray there and see it. You're thinking, I'm fed up with today, man. I want to go home. He puts it up and all he sees is, I want to go home. Going across the screen.
I know, right?
That would be trouble. So limit judgments, listening without criticizing the speaker in your mind while they talk. Even if the message causes you agitation or alarm, try to avoid thinking about negative or judgmental comments. So this is where you think about SpongeBob trying to fight off Mr. Plankton.
That's so funny. Listen without criticizing.
Yeah.
Right, because that to me says that you're jumping the gun. You're listening, but you already found holes in the person's speech, and then you want to jump in to say, no, it's not that or not that. You listen, you hold your points, and then you, yeah.
But sometimes some conversations require that you interject and just let that situation out there so that they can continue on, and then holding the whole bag and making them feel better at the end. How about that?
Yeah, it depends. I think I could easily be a politician because I look at how they operate when they're in debate mode. Not locally, by the way, when they're in debate mode. And so, you know, they listen. They have no choice. They can't interject, really.
Yeah.
It's just how it is. And so you hold your peace until you get your turn, and then you say what you have to say. So,
because when you, even on the court shows, don't interrupt. Everyone speaks and processes information at different rates, so I guess we can't interrupt. If someone is delivering their message slowly, try to cultivate patience and wait for them to finish before trying to rush them. So I have to, as you said, bulk it all up and wait for the end, because I can't interrupt. It's rude.
it is?
Okay.
All right.
I guess.
I'm kidding.
I guess at the end of it, yeah.
I'm kidding.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, so wait
see?
to ask questions. So you may not understand everything someone says to you, and it is best to wait until they pause to ask them to back up and provide clarification for the topic or phrase that you misunderstood. And that makes sense because sometimes when they're talking, or people are talking, or even, you know, I might have had this experience when we say something that somebody doesn't necessarily understand. We might not be interrupted, but we get the verbal cues, maybe a wink, maybe a nod or something, and then we begin to clarify without interrupting, and then obviously the thought explains itself, so to speak. Well, you do the explanation, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the way that you have been, tips for active listening. Hopefully you've been actively listening and
To us,
actively
yes.
watching.
Yes.
Actively watching. All right, so we want to be, we're going to take a brief break and we'll be back. Is that right, Cortez?
A brief break and we'll be back. So see you on the other side of this.
Good morning, SKN. This is Lyrical. I just want to say blessings to you. There are a happy place in the life if you live in there. A happy place in the life if you live in there. Cause them at a happy place in the life. And they can't change. And they just come out here to do right. So whether day or night, they will never ever change. Blessings, blessings, and blessings.
Has anyone ever touched you here, here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization.
Everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart. And always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission.
If you have a fever, cough, or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately. Rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Consuming excess salt can lead to heart attack, high blood pressure, and even stroke, and other health-related conditions such as kidney disease.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. In our previous segment, we shared some tips on how we can all become more active listeners, and hopefully you were actively listening to us. Well, now, Hortensia and I are going to test our skills by playing a game called Are You Really Listening? A question will appear on screen, and we will have to choose which answer we think is the most appropriate. So we are going to test if we are really listening, and why don't you at home play along?
Yes, please do.
Except if you're at work, in which case you should be actively listening to your boss and not us.
Remember, somebody might try to develop that screen. They can read your mind.
Just saying.
I'm ready. I'm actively paying attention to win. So Team K or Team J? Make it Team K. Oh my God.
Here's the first question. How far can a dog run into the woods? Halfway. That's A.
Wow.
B. Until he gets tired. C. As far as he wants. And D. To the other side. How far can a dog run into the woods?
Do I wait for you to show my answer?
You can show it. We're playing simultaneously. Hold yourself again, Hortensia. Alrighty.
I think until he gets tired, because doggies don't normally stop until they're tired. Halfway. What? I thought it was until...
Yeah, sorry.
I thought it was until he got tired. Because normally when they get tired, it actually stops. Because even if you're playing with them, once they're tired, they're done playing. They're like, I'm over this.
So the answer is halfway. After that, he's running out of the woods.
Wow. Okay, I learned something new about a dog. So how many animals of each species did Moses take on board the ark with him? Oh, that's easy. That's easy.
I'm sorry.
Moses, Noah?
I missed the options. I was actively listening to you and not actively viewing the screen.
But it was Moses that took them on the ark. It was Noah. Remember, Moses is the commandment man. Jesus will get us for that.
So effectively, you answered the question.
No, I
realizing
didn't.
it. Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Oh, well, if you didn't answer the question, I'm going to answer it for you. Here's my answer.
What's your answer? Let me see. I think you didn't pay attention. You weren't actively listening.
You asked how many animals of each species did Moses take?
Oh, Moses. Oh, my God. I'm ashamed.
You made this whole speech
So I wasn't actively
about
listening.
Moses not being the one. So clearly Moses
Ooh,
took no
my
animals.
active listening got me. Oh, my God. Okay, viewers, I hope you're actively listening because it's obviously, I wasn't even listening to myself.
All right, so if you had only one match and went into a very cold and dark room, what would you first light?
Okay, I think I must get this one right, man. I'm tired of my wrong answers. I must get this one right.
Wow.
Don't peep my answer.
Wow.
Does it count? Do I get 2 points for putting my answer first?
Can I take it down now? I'm actually hiding my facial expressions, because I realize that we've gotten clips of them before. So can I take it down now? Great. All right. Thank you.
Oh.
And the answer is?
You gotta light the match first. The match.
Okay, so the answer reads, you would light the match first. Otherwise, how would you start up the lamp, fire, or stove?
Without lighting the match.
You're assuming that there's a lamp, fire, or stove in the dark room. We weren't told that.
Okay, we walked into the dark room, we kicked our foot on something. Ow, ow, ow. That's a stove.
Really? Okay, turn off the lights, guys. Magically, if a stove appeared here. Yeah. All right, keep going.
Listen. Wow. How many birth dates does the average Japanese woman have? Oh my gosh, that's a lot. Is this a trick question? The average Japanese woman have? My gosh.
I don't even know anymore.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the trick question.
I'm doubting my own initial thought here. I'm doubting my default. Wow.
Oh, why you have a number? Where's the letter, sir? You're not actively listening.
You got a point. I'm not even going to argue with that. I'm not going to argue with that.
Oh my gosh.
So it's A.
A1. You got it correct though. So
Japanese women, like women in the rest of the world, have only one birthday. And that is the day that they were born.
This is why I don't like multiple choice, because imagine, because Japanese culture has so many different things, that have dates and stuff, like how they probably have 2 Christmases and all of these things, or their New Year is different to ours. It's gonna trick somebody into thinking maybe it's 40. But you have
Really?
This is where your common sense. No,
Okay, just checking.
Look, I had my fancy 8 before you put on your 1.
Just checking, Cortez.
Just saying. Some months have 30 days, some months have 31 days, but how many months have 28 days? 12. Ha. Jamie, did that throw you off? Huh?
I understand where you're going with. I'm going to misread that question. I'm going to go with the default, and I can argue it. I know that you are right when you say 12. But
what?
How many months have 28 days?
Listen, I said that and didn't realize I was saying the correct thing.
No, but you were saying the correct thing. I want to see. You know what? Yeah, I'm
Wow.
going to leave it alone.
I didn't know that was correct. I was just teasing to see if I could get you to say the wrong thing.
No, it would be correct based on how it was read.
Yeah.
With the exception, well, I guess it's correct. Because there's one with 28.
So we didn't actively get that one. Shucks me. It is 12 months. I was correct. Divide 30 by half and then add 10. What do you get? Can I see the answer? Because then I have to write a number like Jamie.
And that's
Yeah, I'm gonna just. Okay. Because I just had to write my number. You ready?
Yeah, you wrote your number.
Yeah, because I couldn't figure it out until.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. But Jamie, looking like you poised to get 10 out of 10, boy. Ah. Ooh.
Divide, that's true. I got you.
Divide 30 by half.
Yeah, so you're multiplying it by 2 effectively. Which is 60. And
Then
you
add
10,
10.
17.
Shucks me. Wrong answer.
And here I thought, based on the previous questions, that we were just sticking to the simple stuff.
They caught me. I wasn't actively listening once again. Ooh.
Right.
Oh, so I'm not an active listener after all. But then I did admit the fact that I tune out. So, oh gosh. On a windy day, farmer's Ben rooster lays an egg. So the day has to be windy. The wind is blowing fiercely from the east. Which way does the egg roll? Impossible to say. Easterly, westerly, north to south. The wind is blowing from the east. Oh my gosh, I'm not sure. I don't think I'm actively listening here. Oh my gosh, listen, I can't compete with that answer. Oh my gosh. Oh, the rooster is a male chicken. Tony, I wasn't actively listening. What you have? But fried rice. Oh my gosh. Oh, I hope you're doing so much better than myself and Jamie, because Jamie's ready to cook that egg. And well,
you did say egg roll, didn't you?
No, I thought it went from east to west.
Egg roll? Beef fried rice. Has anybody here ever had Chinese food?
No, you got a good comeback. You got a good comeback.
A doctor gives you 5 pills and tells you to take one every 2.5 hours.
Wow.
After how many hours will you take the last tablet?
Wow, 5 pills? After how many hours? Oh my God. Okay. Can I see the answers again?
No, you can't see the answers again. You can see the options again.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's the answers, the options. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sure, this is a guess. This is why I don't like multiple choice. Oh my gosh. The fried rice. Oh my, you got C? You take the first pill at 0 hours, the second at, the third at 5, the fourth at 7, and then the next 2.5 comes at 10. You're correct. My gosh, this is poor skills here. I only got 3 out of 10.
Alrighty.
And we are not attending yet. So I got to ensure I got the...
Well, there were 8 questions actually, so I think that's the last one.
Aww.
So as you can see, guys, Hortensia won that one. Are you actively listening? All right.
You got jokes.
We will be back in a flash every week. Stay tuned.
Jamie, enjoy your...
Consuming excess salt can lead to heart attack, high blood pressure, and even stroke, and other health-related conditions such as kidney disease.
Let's face it, most parents or guardians don't want to think about their teens having sex. let alone contemplate the possibility that they might get pregnant or get someone pregnant. Teenage pregnancy is a situation that involves female adolescents. A teenage female can be pregnant as early as age 12 or 13, although it is usually 14 and older. The fact that teenagers become pregnant is related to many factors. Here are some tips to decrease teen pregnancy. Teach teenagers comprehensive sex education. Target messages at teen boys, not just girls. Get the whole community involved. Encourage mentoring, parental involvement, and support. This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
I wear a mask because I want to protect my child, but also I want to protect his classmates and his teachers.
I wear a mask because I care about the frontline workers who will have to work even harder if those around me get sick.
I wear a mask to protect my family. I wear a mask to protect you. I wear a mask because it is the right thing to do.
I wear a mask because I don't want to put any vulnerable individuals at risk, like my elderly loved ones.
I wear a mask because
we are all in this together.
As a hypertensive patient, in my home, I reduce salt intake by not adding salt during the preparation of my food, not having a salt shaker on my table, limiting the consumption of salty snacks, and choosing products with low sodium content. That's why I am salt smart.
These teen boys nowadays get me so upset. I see these teen girls with their big bellies and you want to tell me y'all couldn't protect her and yourself? Come on. Now don't tell me no stupidness about you feel embarrassed about getting a pack of condoms or asking somebody for one. That ain't nothing to be ashamed about. You should be proud that you are making a wise decision, but you still have to abstain from having sex with someone under the age of consent. If your boys are pressuring you to have sex and you don't want to, then don't. You are in charge of your life, not them. I heard another one saying it's sweeter without a condom. But my granny always told me, no glove, no love. So let me tell you something. It's sweeter to have money in your pockets and not have to support a child at that young age. Before I say anything else, the best way to prevent teenage pregnancy is to abstain. In other words, no do it. Let me talk to the big men troubling underage girls.
Why you sleeping with your daughter? You not live clean. Your girl at 16 and your daughter at 13. Two girl look me, but me no in that. Big man no deal with back pan back.
You understand where I'm coming from, right?
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Where are you going? I just mopped the floor and now the chair leaving marks all over the place. Come on, go in bed, see? Sometimes I just can't take you on.
Violence is expressed in many ways. Most, unfortunately, go unreported or unaddressed for many reasons. If you or someone disabled is being abused, contact the police at 465-2241, social services at 467-1314, or the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Disabled Persons at 465-2151, 663-9077, or 663-4116. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO.
Summer is here, and most persons are looking forward to traveling. Unfortunately, we can't all afford that luxury. But don't worry, for this segment, we'll be sharing some places you can visit right here in our Twin Island Federation. Yes. So our first place to visit, the Gibraltar of the Caribbean, as it is known as, the Brimstone Hill Fortress National Park. The Brimstone Hill Fortress National Park is a UNESCO World Heritage Site of historical, cultural, and architectural significance, a monument of the ingenuity of the British military engineers who designed it and to the skill, strength, and endurance of the African slaves who built and maintained it. This is one of the best preserved historical fortifications in the Americas. Look at that.
Oh, when was the last time you went?
Oh, let me tell you. Like, I'm gonna say 3 months back.
Okay, that's recent.
Yeah, and actually, I went into this exhibit and I got a bit scared because they have an actual stuffed monkey. Because I thought it was a real monkey that got away was in there. They have an actual stuffed monkey in there, explaining his origin and stuff at Green Vervet.
And you got scared?
Yeah, because you want to know why a monkey's swinging in there.
So the monkey made a monkey out of you.
Oh, man.
All right, next up on the list of places to visit is the Central Forest Reserve National Park. The Central Forest Reserve, or the CFR, was designated a national park by the government of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis on the 23rd of October 2006, making it the first national park to be designated for the purposes of biodiversity conservation and sustainable development. I can see why.
And while you're in the forest, guess what you can do?
What can you do, Chris?
Take along your recyclable bottle from the folks at Espo with your water and drink it. So you do not leave any plastic bottles in the forest, and you keep the forest floor clean. We can even trickle water off of the leaves into our bottle and filter it to ensure we're having extremely clean drinking water. And all of this from the folks at Espo as we continue to encourage you to walk with your recyclable bags and buy yourself a recyclable bottle so we can be plastic free.
Thank you, Vanna White.
Did you just give me a name? Man, oh man. Man, oh man.
You can take that with you to the net. Well, I guess you can take it anywhere.
Anywhere. Look at that.
Including the next location.
Of course, we can. So we know that we are getting what we deserve. So we're gonna go to the Fairview Great House and Botanical Garden. Nestled at the foot of the Olives Mountain, enjoy a guided walk around the Great House, which is believed to have been initially built, in 1701 by the French. So oui, parlez-vous français, oui,
excuse
in
me.
St. Kitts.
Pardon-moi.
But Bastère is French because
Yes.
Guadeloupe has a Bastère too.
Below terrain or below sea level. Base terrain.
Yes.
Literally, right?
I wonder, Katishan should be speaking 2 languages, Jamie. What do you think? Half should have been French and half should have been English?
Well, I think now we speak Spanish.
Oh,
there you go.
Spanish,
so
so 3.
that's 3, yeah.
3 languages
definitely.
altogether.
You think of it. All right, that's a lovely structure. I always admire seeing it in photographs and even more in person.
Yeah.
All right, so we also have the Nevis Botanical Gardens on our list. I can see why it would be there. Discover the beauty and diversity of the tropical plant kingdom against the dramatic backdrop of Mount Nevis. Totally exquisite. The gardens are a beautiful and tranquil oasis full of tropical flowers and shrubs, orchid terraces, dolphin fountains, and water lily ponds. That is so magnificent to look at. I've never been there in person, but that shot is
We need to go.
amazing.
We need to go to Nevis, period. End of story.
Yeah, my backyard kind of looks... yeah.
But it is
it's good
not
enough.
the botanical gardens, Jamie. So we need to go because you need to see the nice Mayan. Is it Mayan or Aztec? What is it called? Not structure. Oh my gosh, monument that's in the middle in the greenhouse. Yeah, that's you. We have to go. We must go. And the gates that open like you're in heaven. Oh, the pearly gates. Yeah.
Pearly gates that open like you're in heaven.
It's so sweet. It's heavy
see.
silver with a nice hint of gold in the middle.
Sounds
Jamie,
like you've been to heaven before. And you know that it's Nevis. Nevis.
I
that's the
swear,
gateway to heaven,
Nevis.
right?
I love Nevis. I remember we went to Montpelier after we got married. It was just down the road. So that's
By the way,
sweet.
she's not talking about me and her, okay? No, she said we, but she means her husband. Just putting that out there.
Oh
Again.
my God. Jamie's running. Okay, Jamie. Okay, Jamie. Jamie is setting it straight. He's letting you know he's still on the single sheet. Okay, Jamie, go ahead. Take it away.
Oh, this is me for Rumney Manor. I lost track. Apparently, I wasn't actively following. In any event, set in approximately 8 acres, these grounds have considerable history dating back to the 1600s. This old plantation estate houses the Carabel Batik. Houses the Carabel Batik Works. Yes, where you can watch colorful tie-dye clothes being made. You see, in my mind, I read that as houses the Carabel Batik. Where colorful clothes are made.
Yeah.
And either one works, clearly. So, there you
And
go.
Carabel Batik is lovely. The last time I went there was probably 3 months ago too. Yeah.
Okay, so
See
you've
me
been
going
there
in
a
like a
lot.
tourist with all the tourists, you know. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It was fun. And now I think you have to pay an entry fee. I guess that's to preserve the grounds. But it is pretty nice up there. The wind, the big tree, an option for when you're ready to get married. You have the bell tower, so you can have some nice photos over there. There's a nice bar over there with the old road rum as well. So yeah. And I had the pleasure of working for Mr. Widdowson a few years in my past life. So, you know, that's where I learned about the heliconia. Wink, wink.
My cousin's watching right now, probably. Yeah, your wedding was there, Verna. Enjoyed it. Yeah, it's okay. That's as much as I'm going to get for pictures.
Ooh, the Spooner Ginnery. The Spooner's estate is located east of Keon. Ooh, I never knew that. This site, which affords fine views of the surrounding countryside, is rich in agro-industrial history spanning both the sugar and cotton period and contains the only surviving cotton ginnery on the island. We need to start taking our cameras and going outside. A whole social study and history project awaits us.
Well, yeah.
We should go.
History teachers, you've been told. All right.
Jamie's not going with me.
All right, we're looking at the National Museum next. This is a place where I remember the pier used to be. I think you'd have to go through that, or the old pier, so we don't even have any idea that when we used to go to Nevis years ago, we literally had to walk on a wooden pier, and you'd be dodging the openings because you didn't want to fall through. Yeah, that's what I remember. Anyway, the National Museum, constructed from hand-cut limestone in 1894, the building is still known as the Gateway to Bastille, well, obviously, for, I guess, reasons that I just said as well, thanks to its imposing size. Inside, visitors can learn about the sugar, slave, and rum trades, as well as carnival customs, and see traditional dress on display.
Yeah.
And it's just architecturally pleasing, to be honest. It's a shame that we sort of lost that appeal of the landscape, or let's say the mini skyline that we have when we're approaching, because I think it's such a true, let's say, landmark for us.
Yes. Oh, the Cottle Church. The quiet beauty of this church, built by John Cottle in 1824, is enhanced by its noble backstory. It was the first house of worship on Nevis where whites and blacks could pray together. Having fallen into ruins more than once, the church exists today as a roofless shell, but manages to retain its simple dignity and an important place in Nevis history. Isn't this on the ground of the Mount Nevis Hotel? I think people take a lot of pictures there too for their wedding.
Not sure.
I think that's where it is. I'm gonna, you know me. When I go home, I'm gonna look.
I just want to ask a very obvious question. Why is it so roofless?
I guess because every time the roof goes on, it comes off. Maybe.
They want to preserve the historical aspect of it. I think. I mean, I understand the preservation, but I also understand.
Well, why don't they then rebuild it then? No.
And that's my point exactly.
Yeah,
because if it's such a historic place where this is the first place where whites and blacks could easily pray together, and now we live in a predominantly black society, and we leave it that way to say, well, yeah. I don't know. I understand preservation, but I also believe that there should be some sort of restoration.
Yes, like I think the church in the middle of the cemetery, I think that should be restored. I think that's pretty cute. Like I look at it the other day and I see like the little steeple, like it's roofless.
Yeah.
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 You should restore that.
Yeah. All right, so this is me on the St. Kitts Scenic Railway, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you going? Have you
So,
been?
The St. Kitts, I have not been. The SSR, St. Kitts Scenic, or SKSR, the St. Kitts Scenic Railway. Climb aboard a luxurious rail car, luxury courtesy for a train ride through St. Kitts, offering the first scenic railway in the Caribbean. Journey 30 miles or 48 kilometers on board your opulent rail car, the Board's courtesy, outfitted with an observation deck, complimentary drinks, air conditioning, and large windows to guarantee prime views.
That's if you're still on the inside, but I prefer the outside because I like to look over, I like to look around, I like to be free, I like my hand to touch the wind or the wind to touch my hand.
I see that, yeah.
So I've sat in the carts below with the big windows, and then I've decided this is not for me, and then I just go upstairs. But you need to go, it's a nice ride.
Yeah, I usually just drive around the island with my windows down. Yeah.
Especially over the tall bridge, that's my favorite part of it. So Mount Lyamiga, I'm yet to climb and conquer this mountain. The farthest I've been is Dudaim Pond. So soaring to 3,792 feet, Mount Lyamiga is the highest point in St. Kitts and Nevis, and and tropical cloud forest to the summit offers an invigorating adventure and unparalleled vantage point for taking in the stunning expanses of the Eastern Caribbean. I think we need what do you call it? A helicopter ride.
A helicopter ride, okay.
But I think they say they used to do it because someone told me one time the helicopter took them into the crater because I'm going to the crater too.
You want to go into the crater? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I went to the active volcano at St. Lucia. And they built this, I don't know if you ever heard of the Gabriel Hole or the sulfur baths. There's a whole active volcano. We were like actually in an active volcano.
Yeah, good for you.
And you see all the steam coming out of the hole. Why it got its name, the Gabriel Hole? A tour guide by the name of Gabriel, he apparently tourists were allowed to walk around in the volcano, right? And he, on this day, was showing them how strong it was, and he kept stomping, and the ground below him caved in. I don't know after how many stomps he would have stomped there, like in previous visits, and then he was stuck in from here down. So he got badly burnt, but he's alive still to tell the story. And there is even a drink at the site that's called the Gabriel.
And I think what I take away from that story is don't go stomping.
So since that,
active volcanoes.
Thank
you, Gabriel, for that.
Nobody's allowed to walk on the volcano. You just have to look over now.
Gabriel Hole.
Gabriel Hole, yeah.
Wow. Timothy Hill. If you're driving out to the beaches or bars of St. Kitts' southeast peninsula, make sure to stop for an envy-inducing photo op at the top of Timothy Hill. And up there, your 360-degree views include the Atlantic Ocean, the Caribbean Sea, Friars and Frigate Bays, Nevis, and the hilly peninsula itself.
That's normally my view when I climb the second hill on Timothy Hill, because you know there's Timothy Hill there and then there's a hill up above. Yeah, I go to that one all the way up to the water tank. Then I'd be like, I did that. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we're wrapping up this segment. We'll be back in a flash. Guys, stay tuned.
Where are you going? I just mopped the floor and now the chair leaving marks all over the place. Come on, go in bed, see? Sometimes I just can't take you on.
Violence is expressed in many ways. Most, unfortunately, go unreported or unaddressed for many reasons. If you or someone disabled is being abused, contact the police at 465-2241, social services at 467-1314, or the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Disabled Persons at 465-2151, 663-9077, or 663-4116. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. It's time to let you know what's happening. First up on the list is Leap Cheer. Leap, L-E-A-P, is introducing its cheer class this September 2022. All boys and girls ages 5 and up are welcome. Classes will take place on Thursdays from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Leap Studio in Frigate Bay, St. Kitts. The cost is EC $80 per month or EC $60 with a multi-class discount. And if you know any boys and girls who are interested in the cheer class with Leap, sign them up now. That's N-O-W in caps for classes this coming September.
I thought the classes were a summer thing. I didn't realize it was going to start when school starts.
Yeah.
The International Day continues. Tomorrow is International Hot Dog Day. Not your dog, but Hot Dog Day. In honor of this, the Caribbean cinemas will be given a hot dog special. Buy any hot dog combo, nacho, tripleta, or a popcorn tripleta and get a hot dog with your order for absolutely free. Why is Jamie laughing? You don't want to miss this deal. Head on over to the Caribbean cinemas tomorrow, Wednesday, July 20th, to celebrate International Hot Dog, Hot Diggity Dog, Hot Dog Day.
When is it International Brown Shoe Day? I'm just asking. I'm wearing brown shoes right now. At some point, I might get it right.
Jamie, no.
Next up on the list is Poise SKN. All right, so Poise SKN is accepting applications for their 2022 to 2023 dance year. Persons ages 3 to 27 can register now via their website, which unfortunately I can't see. I think it's poiseskn.com. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
right.
www.poiseskn.com.
Got it.
Jamie can't stop laughing. He's crying too.
So the deadline for the application is August 8th. Orientation will be held on the 30th of August, and classes officially start on the 13th of September. So register now to be a part of Poise SKN's Institute of Dance for the year 2022 to 2023 and be guided by your passion, power, and purpose.
Yep, and it is Nevis Culturama season. So at this time of year, Nevisians and Kittitians alike celebrate their rich cultural heritage, and this Thursday, that's the 21st July, will be the official opening ceremony of Culturama. In addition to that, there will also be the Junior Kaiso contest on the same day, which we spoke about earlier with Mr. Keith Glasgow, the events coordinator. Culturama is said to be the Caribbean greatest summer live. And we know that you will be anticipating the core events following Thursday's launch. So be on the lookout.
Yeah.
So are you going to Culturama?
Say again?
Are you going to Culturama?
I have not been for many, many years. Chances are I'll miss out on this one, but hey, you can go in my honor and have fun.
Oh man, I think I might go for the drag race. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love to go to the Queen show, but when it's you alone that's into Queen show, you can't go by yourself.
Oh, you'll be having your fun with the people who are there as patrons as well. All right.
But they're not my friends.
Well, hey,
So you gotta go with your friends so you can have your own little commentary going on. Who do you think is gonna win? That fun thing.
I'll just sit in the zone. When you hear people chanting for a particular person, you just move. If you're not chanting for that person, it works like that. Hey, it does. Anyway, we want to thank you guys for joining us for another edition of not What's Happening. Good Morning SKN. That's the thing. GMSKN. Of course. You would see the GMSKN logo at the bottom of your screen. There's a hashtag that you can use. So when you want to tag us, when you want to look for our material, again, on social media, hashtag GMSKN. It's that simple to find our resources. It's that simple to tag us, communicate with us. Of course, we just did What's Happening. Also, if you know of events that are happening or you are holding them yourself, you could easily email us at info@studio327inc.com.
Get your stuff out
let us know what's going on. Remember to follow us, of course, on our social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And the handle is so easy to remember. If you don't know it, you're going to know it after this. It's so easy. It's at Studio327INC. Studio, the numbers 3, 2, and 7, INC. At Studio327INC. Easy enough, right?
Yeah.
So like, subscribe, follow, and share.
Yes, and if you don't do any of the above, then you won't be able to get the information that we give out every day. As some folks would say, we are a social study and history project. So you got to leave us a comment and let us know what you would like to see next on Good Morning SKN, where there is a little bit of everything for everyone. So tomorrow is Whiskermas Wednesday, so we advise that you tune in at 8 a.m. when you will start your Whiskermas Wednesday with myself and Jamie right here at Good Morning SKN. Have a great day, guys, and remember to chase your dreams.